My name is Dylan and I'll be your interview today.
Nice to meet you, Dylan. My name's Rick and I'm the director at BG&E.
Why did you want to become an engineer?
Well, when I was a kid I was really good at maths and science, so they were my favourite subjects at school, and I knew that engineers used a lot of maths and science in what they did. And I also like mystery stories too, and mystery stories are a bit like problem solving, which is what engineers do as well. So when I looked at becoming an engineer I thought, well, they're the things that I like to do, so it's a good job for me.
Are buildings taller now than when you were my age?
They are. There's lots of really tall buildings around the world now. So when I was young, there was only a couple of tall buildings here in Melbourne, and now there's heaps, and lots of them are much taller than the ones that were around when I was your age. And working at BG&E, I've had a chance to work on some of those buildings. So some of those towers in the Middle East that we've worked on in BG&E, I've had a chance to work as an engineer on those and help with the materials. Also buildings that have already been built too, helping make sure they solve any problems that they have. And you tell me, what's the longest tunnel or the tallest building that you've made out of Lego?
I've made like a police station out of Lego. It was about this tall.
Really?
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's a very tall police station.
Yeah. Are there more tunnels in cities now too?
There are lots more tunnels. So when I was your age, they were building a single tunnel here in the middle of Melbourne, which was for trains. And now they've got tunnels all over Melbourne for cars and for trains, and they're building lots more. So I've been lucky because I've been able to work on some of those tunnels. So Sydney Metro is a huge tunnel that's 16 kilometres long that trains are going to be going through in a few years' time. And I got to work on that for 4 years to manage the team that was designing that. And what's the best project you've ever worked on?
Best project I've ever worked on was probably this inquiry unit. I got to get in a group project and we made a PowerPoint on the respiratory system.
On a respiratory system?
Yeah.
So how much of that did you do?
Yeah, I did mainly lots of the PowerPoint.
Fantastic. Lots of pictures?
Yeah.
Excellent.
If I want to design buildings and tunnels, do I need to be good at maths and science?
I think it helps, but I think you have to remember too that it's always about practice. So if you do all of the maths and science that your teacher gives you, do lots of homework and practice hard, then you become good at maths and science.
We learn at school all about the planet getting hotter and climate change. Are engineers helping to protect the planet?
I think everyone has a part to play, but engineers, with the buildings that they design and the way that they use materials and the types of materials they use, is really important. So there's lots of concrete in buildings, and concrete isn't great for the environment because it uses cement, and producing cement's bad for greenhouse gas emissions. So we can look at using less cement when we produce concrete to use in buildings, and we can also use things like timber or other materials too, which don't cause problems for the planet in the same way. So engineers have a really important part to play with the materials that we use and with the way that we use them when we design things.
What is the most fun part of your job?
Well, I really love the team I work with. So I moved back down to Melbourne at the end of last year, and I'm working with a whole new team now. And it's great to meet them and to get to know them. So definitely working with the team I work with.